Sometimes we think we have to handle everything on our own. Not asking for help is a sign of weakness. But have you ever thought that this stubbornness could actually be the biggest roadblock to your dreams? Today's story is about a young man named David who tried to do everything alone to achieve his dreams. But along the way, he realized his limits. And more importantly, he learned that asking for help doesn't mean you failed. In fact, it's part of the journey to success. If you're curious, stick around till the end of the story. Once upon a time in a small village, surrounded by green fields and rocky roads, lived a young man named David. Most people in the village were farmers. Life there was peaceful, but full of challenges. David, 23 years old, worked as a carpenter. He had learned the craft from his late father. He owned a small shop in the village, but the roof was falling apart. Every day, David worked alone, building chairs, fixing old tables, and dealing with customers who always tried to bargain down his prices. After all the effort, he barely made enough to buy bread, soup, and firewood for the winter. But David wasn't satisfied with just getting by. In his free time, he'd sit by his small window and look out at the distant hills, dreaming, "I'll have a big furniture store of my own. People will come from far away just to buy my furniture." Reality, though, was tough. Every time he tried to save money, some unexpected expense would show up. A leak in the roof, a broken tool, or a medical bill for his sick mom. Some villagers laughed at his dreams. One farmer even said, "David, you can't even afford good wood, and you're dreaming of a big store." Those words cut deep. But David never gave up on his dream. One day, an elderly man named Mr. Aziz visited David's shop. He was a traveling merchant known for his wisdom. He asked David to build a large dining table and gave him a week to do it. It was the biggest job David had ever gotten, and the pay was good too. But halfway through, trouble started. On the third day, David ran out of wood. He went to the local wood supplier, but due to winter demand, the prices had doubled. He could only afford half the wood he needed. David thought, "I can't ask Mr. Aziz for more money." He tried borrowing money from a guy named Wed, but Wed just laughed and turned him down. David wondered, should I just sell my shop? Is chasing this dream just foolish? That night, he sat on an old bench, staring at the little money left on his table, wondering if he was being greedy. Then he remembered his mother's words. "David, every big thing starts with a small step. Don't be afraid to start, no matter how hard it gets." The next day, with new motivation, David went to the city. He brought along a few small pieces of furniture. Some folding chairs he made to try selling them. It was a risky move. If he didn't sell them, he wouldn't even have enough money to get back home. He set up a tiny stall in a busy corner of the city market. At first, no one paid attention, but around noon a wealthy lady came by and was impressed with his work. She ended up buying all the chairs. With that money, David bought the wood he needed and went back to the village. He finished the table right on time. Mr. Aziz was thrilled. "You're a talented young man," he said. "Never give up on your dream." But that wasn't the end of the challenges. A few weeks later, word spread about David's craftsmanship. Orders started pouring in from nearby towns and villages. Then came a huge opportunity. A businessman from the city placed an order for 10 dining tables. to be delivered in just 1 month. In return, he offered a large payment. It was a big break, but also a huge challenge. Tight deadlines, high-quality wood, no extra workers, and a tiny workshop. It seemed nearly impossible. Still, David said yes. That night, he sat down to make a plan. If he worked non-stop from morning till night, it might just be doable. But he didn't have enough money for the wood. In the end, David decided to sell the last memory of his father, a gold watch. It had deep sentimental value. As he stood in the jewelry shop selling it, tears welled up in his eyes. But he knew it was just one more step. And sometimes you have to take risks to achieve something big. With the money, he bought the best wood and worked day and night. He often skipped meals and barely slept. His hands were cracked, his head ached, but he didn't stop. Villagers said, "David, take a break, you'll get sick." But he didn't listen. In the final week, one of the tables kept breaking because of a flaw in the wood. That's when his mom walked into the shop and saw David sitting with his head down. She said softly, "Son, take a rest. Life isn't just about chasing dreams. You have to take care of yourself, too." Through tears, David replied, "I just want to prove that I can do this." "Don't worry, Mom. We're going to come out of this poverty soon." She placed a hand on his shoulder and said, "You've already proven a lot. Your hard work, your patience. But remember, if your health breaks down, all this success will mean nothing." David sat in silence. Then he said quietly, "You're right, Mom. But I have to finish this job. If I do, it'll bring me so much closer to my dream. People will recognize me and I'll earn a great reputation." She smiled and said, "I know how much your dream means to you, but let me tell you something. If you try to carry all the weight alone, you'll wear yourself out. Life isn't meant to be lived alone. Asking for help isn't weakness, it's smart. If you just ask your friends or neighbors for a little help, they won't say no. In fact, they'll be proud to stand by you." Those words hit David deep. The next day, for the first time, David asked the villagers for help. And they all came forward. Together, they finished the work. The rich businessman was extremely happy and paid him just like he promised. With that money, David expanded his shop, bought new tools, and even hired a few young men from the village to work with him. But the biggest thing he gained was the lesson that achieving your dream takes more than just hard work. Sometimes it takes asking for help, and that's how you find balance in life. Did you enjoy the story? Let us know in the comments. If you want to hear more inspiring stories like this, don't forget to subscribe. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next.